I hit record, so I think it's recording. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, at the top, you'll see a little red button that's on the top left saying recording.
Yes, perfect. Okay. So, so since Jackie's just joined us, I'll start fresh. So Jackie, when you log into Scouts Tracker, basically this is the screen that you will see here, your home screen. It will, on the left-hand side, it will list your youth's name here. And then we have all of these options. So I'm going to go through the Canadian Path program part first. So the pond map, sorry, I don't know if yours is a beaver as well, or if it's a different, is yours in a, what section is your youth in, Jackie? Or
Jackie's kid is a cub.
Okay, so yours will look a little bit different, but not that much different. So instead of saying the pond map, it should say the jungle map, okay? But other than that, it's pretty similar. It's just some minor details based on the names. So where you see the pond map, you would see the jungle map or the Scout map there. And if you were to click on it, it will bring it to the screen where you can actually view the map. You have the option to print in the top right-hand corner. The map will automatically fill in different things on it as your youth earn OASs and as they go through doing activities and events that cover the different areas on the map. If they're earning personal achievement badges, those are on the right-hand side. And again, these are the beaver, this is the beaver map and the beaver achievement badges, but you'll have the jungle map for cubs and their cub personal achievement badge options there. At the top is always the top section award and what they need to do to achieve that. So in beavers, it's the North Star Award, and in cubs, it's the CNE Award. So there's that. So if you scroll down, it will also give you all of these different areas again. So you can actually go into the areas, for example, Rusty's Meadow, and you can see what events actually contributed to that area on the map for the year, okay? You can change this, I didn't mention this earlier, but you can change this show only attended events. You can change that to a yes, and it'll only show the events that your youth has actually attended. But if you want to see all the events that were related to the area on the map, then you would just change it to a no. So that is the map there. And again, you know, you can print it, you can watch it fill in with your youth, but it's really useful for helping them get a visualization of how they're doing. So if we go back to home, personal progression is again going to be a little bit different for each section. For beavers, it shows the different tails. For pack, for cubs, it will show, I can never remember the order. I think it's runner and then tracker and then howler. And then there's CNE and things like that. So these are just basically as they've advanced through the years. So there's not a lot that gets done there. It's just a matter of the scouters really going in and filling it out. With the outdoor adventure skills, which is the 9 main badges that we do have, these are the ones here. You will be able to see as they complete levels. So there's 9 levels for each one. As they complete levels, it'll pop up here with the check mark. So for example, this one has 2 levels of camping skills completed. So if I go in, it'll show me that the first one is all completed. And it even shows me the date that it was awarded, okay? And if I go into the third one, for example, I can see here that there's an event scheduled, and it shows me here what the event is that is scheduled. So this is one night at Beaver Camp. So it will add to the 7 that is required for this particular level. But say, for example, your youth packs their own bag for camp. You can click on this, click on it, and then you'll get this pop up here on the right. And you can click ready to demonstrate. And then that way the scouters will know, they'll run a report, and they'll know that your youth is ready to demonstrate that they can pack their bag for camp. So then they can basically, you know, review that or test them on it. And then if they choose that they've completed it, then they would click on it and they would actually mark it as completed. All right. And then once they've completed all the requirements for a particular badge, then the Scouters, when they award it, it would get marked as awarded. Okay. Personal achievement badges are the ones that they do at their own level. So each section has different personal achievement badges. So these are the Beaver ones. For Cubs, there's ones like art and technology and communication and exploring and different other ones. And the nice thing about these is that they are personal. So if you go into any of them, you'll notice that they don't have set requirements. You know, they talk about what would you like to learn? What will you need to visit somewhere or will you need to visit somewhere or contact someone? What supplies do you need? So what you do with your youth is, for the personal achievement ones, is you give it a name first. You would go in here and you would fill it in. You would save it. And then it brings you right back. And now you'll notice the name is there. You would go in and put in your description. Oops. And again, save. And then you have to go in and edit each one of the steps. So same way. So you're going in and you're writing down, what would they like to try doing? How would they like to challenge themselves? You fill it all in for the plan part. Once they've done the plan part, then that's when they're going to really go to their Scouters and they're going to say, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. This is my plan. Then once it's approved by the Scouters, then they do their 3 different parts of their adventure, their activity. And as they do them, they mark those in. Then when they're done, they go back with their Scouters and they review it. And then once they've completed it, that's how they would earn a personal achievement badge. Just so you're aware, for any of the badges, OAS and personal achievements, there's always this option for show on uniform. And if you click on it, what it does is it just brings you to the diagram of that particular section's uniform, showing you where the different types of badges go. You can zoom in on this as well if you need to, and you can scroll. So if you can't really see it too far away, you can actually scroll in on it. So you'll see here the personal achievement badges on, like for example, on the Beaver uniform go on the left pocket, and where the OAS here go on the right pocket. Okay. So there's that. You can download it. You can also print it as well. So that is the personal achievement. In this particular case, it says North Star work because it's a Beaver file I'm using. However, for Cubs, it would say CNE award. This is their top section award. Usually this is not earned until about the the 3rd year. And it will give you a percentage to show you how far along they are at any time. But if you want to see what they have to do, you can just click on it and it will show you everything that they have to do. So here is that they've got this one 40% complete, so it's not fully colored in. It tells you how much complete it is, and it's because they have 2 out of 5 stages. So here it's showing you that they have 2 and they have to complete 5. Here they have to complete 5 hours of community service, for example. And then they have their project that they have to plan and assess and do, and then they have their review. So you can monitor how they're doing with their top section awards as well. Other is just if they have these ones are more like if your section or if your group does any specific targeted fundraising, if they do any leadership training, if there's any special awards and things like that. So just any questions regarding the badge work and the map? Everybody's good, all right? So below that, you're going to find my personal links. So the personal links will show you signups. So the signups is always going to show how many different events or meetings upcoming that you have signed up for. So let's just take a look. In, for example, this one is signed up for the camp in November. Okay. So it will show what you have signed up for, so what you've RSVP'd to. My bookmarks is if you've bookmarked anything. So for example, in the outdoor adventure skills, let's just go in here for a second. you can also place a bookmark, which puts a star. And then if you want to go back and look at your bookmarks, it's going to bring up those bookmarks for you. Okay. So I guess that's really, I don't have anybody who really uses this yet, but I guess you could use it if you wanted to work on some specific badges or specific criteria with your youth. Then you could bookmark them so that they're easier to access and find for as you're working on them. And then that way, when you've got them, when they're ready, say they've done it, then you can change it from a bookmark to a ready to demonstrate. Okay. My path. So again, the path just is basically a report of requirements that are needed to get to the North Star Award or the top section award for whatever section your youth is in. My balance. So my balance in this case is showing 0. I'm going to try and change it so I can show you guys a balance in a bit. But if you sign up for an event or a camp that has a cost to it and you have not paid that fee, and it's not marked off in Scout Tracker that you have paid it, then it will show up here in red, showing that you owe for that one. My pond map events is, again, it's just upcoming events that are going to tick off spots on the map. So this one, for example, will tick off Rusty's Meadow. This one's going to tick off under Tic Tac Camp. And then these ones here don't have any locations on the map that are set for them. So they'll just show up under the no map. For my reports, there's a bunch of different reports you can run. So you can run a ready to demonstrate so you can see what it is that your youth is ready to demonstrate. You can run my awarded badges to see which ones they have. Make sure you didn't maybe misplace them or anything like that. Any events that they've signed up for, things like that. Notes. So if there are personal notes and the history. So the history, you can filter out different things, right? And you can choose, or you can do date ranges, including requirements. The reports aren't used as much by parents, more as they are used by Scouters. So any questions for the personal links? No? Okay, I'm going to get into the fun part. The fun part is the schedule. So on the left-hand side under colony links or pack links or troop links, you're always going to find your schedule. So if you click on your schedule, it'll bring up what the month that you're currently in. So we're obviously in October, so it highlights your day that you're on right now, and it shows you all of the different things that they have upcoming schedules. Before I go into the schedule too much, there is this options bar. So if you don't want to see it in a calendar, you want a list, you can change it to a list, and then it will look like this. You can change it back at any time. You can have your start date either be Sunday or Monday. And you always want to have it show meetings. You always want to have the yes as the blue part highlighted. The show other schedules is available. You guys have collaboration between your different sections. So this is really beneficial if you have multiple youth and they're in different sections. So for example, if I had a youth in Cubs, I could click on the Cub calendar. And now when I go back to my calendar, I will see both Beavers and Cubs or group. I'm not sure which one this is. So you can see multiple schedules in one calendar, which is very, like I say, it's convenient if you have kids in more than one section. Again, you can always change this back. You don't have to show any other schedules if you don't want to, okay? If you go into any of the events, so we're going to go into this one here, it allows you, depending on what it's set up as, if it is set up with RSVP option, like a sign up option, then you would get a button that says sign up. It always will show any related badges that go towards it. And if there was any email sent out regarding that event, they would be stored here in the email history. You can always go back to them. As a parent, let's say you have a question about this event that's coming up. You can click on Ask Question on the right-hand side, and you can actually send an email. And it sends it directly through Scout Tracker. It will send it to whoever is set up as the contacts for the event, and they will be able to then respond to your question. So this is a great feature, something to just keep in mind, because you can send it for anything that's in the calendar pretty much. Okay. Let's go back. So you can flip through the calendar, you can go forwards, you can even go backwards, you can even go to past. So if we wanted to take a look at September, for example, we can go back into that as well. So you'll notice, again, I just went into an older meeting. So this one had more related skills associated with it. So if your youth attended that meeting, then they're going to earn those different skills or a portion of those skills. Depending on the description, the information, transportation plan that's included, that'll all be available whenever you go into any event. Okay, location, times. So let's just go back to this one here for next week. So you've got the date, the time, the location. You have who the contacts are for the event, your different locations and stuff. And then if there was a description, that would be listed there as well. Any questions with regards to your schedule? Okay. I know for myself, for my group, we tell our parents to check the schedule at least once a week minimum, but to always check it the day of the meeting, because we can sometimes make some last minute changes or add in some last minute information. So it is always advised that you do that. It's really easy to check Scout Tracker from your phones. So it's quite simple to do. So I'm just going to click back on home, and it takes me right back to my home page here. If I do want to check any previous emails that were sent by the group, I can click on emails, and it will always show all of the emails that were sent throughout the whole year. So if there is something that I can't find in my email inbox, and I know there was an email sent about it, I can come here and I can check for it, and I can open it up and read it. Okay. Here on the left-hand side under your current Beaver, again, this where it says example youth would normally have your youth's name. You can also click on the North Star and the OAS badges to see how their progress is, or go into that. And this one here says no outings. This will change throughout the year based on your youth's attendance. So it will start producing things like camping, nights at camp, hiking, hours, kilometers, different community service, fundraising, all of those different things will start adding up throughout the year. So you guys might already have some, I don't know. That will be there as well. Okay. The account button doesn't do a lot. It is basically your login. So if you need to change your password, your email, or your preferences, you can go here. I will open this up because there is this part here which is important that your parents know about and that you guys understand. So because Scout Tracker is an email subscription service, it does by law have to have the opt-out options. I have seen parents who accidentally opt out of the emails and invitations. So if you, for whatever reason, are not getting invitations or emails that you know are being sent out by your Scouters, come in here and check to make sure that these both have check marks, because if you accidentally opted out at any time, then it would not have it, and then you would no longer receive colony emails, for example. So any emails that were sent through Scout Tracker from your Scouters, you would not receive. Okay, so you do need to make sure that these are always checked off. Okay, the Scouters cannot change this for you. Only you as the owner of your account can change that. Okay, if you want to change your display name, so if you want to put in your youth's name and then mom, you know, you can do that, and that will change the display name that shows up when you are signing up for things with for your child. Okay. The rest of this is pretty straightforward. The synchronization section is just connection mode. So you can always be online or offline. You can allow the Scout Tracker to launch offline. So this is beneficial when you maybe don't always have a data connection for your phone. It will allow you to actually still launch offline and at least get the last information for the last time you were online. This tells you when the last update was. So the last update was 10 minutes ago. So if, for example, the Scouters were in here making changes, I wouldn't see those changes unless I sync or I reload from server. It'll always show you the current time. If you ever travel, I had this happen with one of my families last year. They went on vacation. I'm in Ontario, so they went on vacation to BC, and they got an email from us about one of the events upcoming, and the time on the event was actually displayed for them in BC time. It was not displayed in Eastern Standard Time. So they thought we had changed the time of the event, and they were questioning us on why our event was starting at 4 in the afternoon in the middle of the week, and we were like, it's not. So that's how we actually discovered that when you travel as a parent, if you go in, it's going to show whatever time zone you're in. Okay. The help here, it does have a parent guide. This parent guide was actually created by a Scout group. It is, however, 3 years old. So it does have some stuff in it, but it is fairly old. So, but you can look at, different things. It is targeted to the Scout section. So it only talks about like the Chief Scout Award and stuff. But it is beneficial if you want to use it at any time. I'm actually working on making some videos that I'll be posting to YouTube, and I'll be giving Delvine all of the links for those videos as well, so she'll be able to provide those to you guys too. This stuff here, this is basically just if you're having major issues, but usually you would just go to your Scouters for that. And then the last one, the Say Thanks. I'm not sure if as parents you've ever seen this or heard of this, but we do have the thanks, which is a way you can provide recognition for any and all of your Scouters from you and your youth. So you can actually click on this and it will take you to the Scouts Canada website where you can actually fill in the Scouts Canada thanks. And then the commendation, the thank you, will be sent to your Scouter directly and to their group commissioner as well. It's always a nice thing to do. So that is Scout Tracker in a nutshell. Like I say, it is pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of playing around with it and just getting used to it. As your Scouters also are new to the system, they are going to get some training as well. I'm going to help them, and so as time goes on, maybe the descriptions will get better. Maybe your signups will be showing things like that. You can actually go in and sign up for different events, and prices will be listed, things like that. So it just depends on how much Delvine and the Scouters want to, how much information they want to put in here. But yeah, it's a great tool. My group's been using it, like I say, for about 3 years now. And while it was a transition for our parents and our Scouters, it is a fantastic tool and everybody loves it now. So, any questions or anything that you guys want me to go over in more detail?
I think I got it. Thanks for doing the presentation for us.
You are more than welcome. I am glad that I was able to help out.
Sorry, I couldn't get on there for a second. Now I figured it out. Thank you
No
so
worries.
much.
No
Thank
worries,
you
Jackie.
so
Do you have any
much.
questions?
I was quiet. There was a couple questions, but you talked it through and went through it all, so it was great. Presentation was good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No problem. If you guys do have any questions, send them to Delvine. She has my contact, and I will reach out to her, and I'll answer those as I can.
Great. Well, thank you again so much.